Good morning, everyone. Okay, so thank you very much for meeting us and coming on this session. I know this webinar is on a Saturday, and I'm so happy to see so many people here on that day. I know it's a bit rainy in Trinidad, but I hope it's a better weather where you guys are in the Caribbean. So the purpose is to let you know what is happening in the industry from a Microsoft readiness position for cloud. They have redefined and they are going forward with a different type of approach for their certification program, and I think it's quite admirable. Now, we at Caribbean Tech Trends Limited have been working with 10 people, a subgroup of 10 folks, all CDTL insiders over the last 3 months, to see how they would get on with this change. So it's good to know that out of the 10 people that we've been training, 8 people have already gotten certified in the role-based training, this new role-based type of training. And it's radically different from what you've seen before in the market. So I wanted to alert you and have this singular session to update everybody. It's being recorded. So if you have to drop out or of the call, or you didn't make it today, it's going to be delivered to you guys who signed up for that on the recording link, on the webinar link. Okay, right. So the runtime should be about 10 minutes, maybe about 15 minutes. So I'll try to keep it as limited as possible in talking, but I wanted to hit some of the points. And at the email, please feel free to email us, and we'll reach out and answer all of the questions. Keisha and her team will be able to answer all of the questions going forward. Okay, so what is happening? Okay, Microsoft is changing the way that they do testing, and that affects all of us because it really is a triumphant return of value of certification. Microsoft believes in everybody. So why, right? Why are they doing this? Well, quite frankly, the industry demanded it, and I'll explain to that in a couple of minutes why. And I hope that when we go through this session, you will see why this is a big deal. Okay, so it isn't how it was before. So the cloud, which Microsoft has a huge share of, is creating this big skills gap, this massive skills gap. This cloud is accelerating that. So there's this large gap between the intention to implement a cloud-ready business, a cloud infrastructure, and the reality that the skills do not match up. Those skills and those day-to-day processes to manage a transition project versus what you have to do when you reach a cloud environment, it's a huge, big difference, massive difference. The gap is so large, right? So IT pros, and I'm seeing as of this session, there are 73 people on now. Most of you guys are IT pros. I see many of the names I know. I've spoken to you, so welcome everybody. It's good to see some guys I don't know, some folks I haven't seen here before. Feel free to reach out. This is Caribbean Tech Trends Limited. Our website is www.cttl.net. We focus on IT folks to try to change everything as they go to the cloud. We are the digital transformation organization, both in training and in services. We've done it right, and we've done it for the last 18 years. Okay, using technology as a catalyst to bring better business outcomes. Okay, so everybody on the call and your peers, that the whole idea is to, with this session, is you have the opportunity to gain those skills to fill that major gap. Okay, so what is the benefits to getting certified? This new certification, well, it's really a new type of role-based certification, unlike the other one, which was an MCSE here or MCP here. That is changing to a new role-based skill. Is aligning yourself, your skills and your job roles to a direct certification. So as it goes around the market and it starts to take hold, you who are hiring IT managers or CIOs are going to have to pass on this information to your HR respective teams, that these certified individuals that you're bringing in or you're training on staff, they will have a different type of skill sets, that greater recognition to what it validates that a very specific skill set. Okay, obviously as your teammates know more or as yourself learns more, you're going to have to increase, and the increase 20% here shows an IDC survey. Obviously it's going to probably go way higher depending how deeply we go in the cloud in the next couple of years. Okay. The reality is that close to 50% of the cloud certs, it will increase. 50% of the people believe that the cloud certs increase employability, and you kind of wonder why, because everybody is going to the cloud, and they just don't have enough cloud guys or ladies that are certified and know how to lead companies to cloud. They know how to migrate, right? Don't get me wrong, but they don't know how to lead when they reach there. And that really takes a whole different type of skill. That whole, we know what to do next. Yeah, we could turn over, we could do a migration from VMware into Azure, we can do a Hyper-V on-premise to Azure, blah, blah, blah. But what do you do when you reach there, right? That's really what the company wants. What do we do when we go to cloud? And that really is the difference between what we were before. IT folks used to make the next jump. We go to another upgrade of a different software, etc. We kind of pause there. That was success for us. That is not success for cloud. For cloud, you have to do things. Move the business to cloud, yes, or hybrid, or a mix of everything. But you also, IT is going to be focused on building new business wins for the organization. That is really different. The role-based training prepares your mindset for critical thinking. So as you start to go forward, you start to see IT and business starting to twin together a little more, right? Obviously, my team in Caribbean Tech Trends is certified. We believe very, very strongly about talent identification. That is how we train each of our departments. We have a development department, the operations department, a projects department, and they are all trained in different ways and trained in different certs. So this is not just a good idea. This is real life. This is real life in play. When you have a team, they all require different type of skills. And that is how we actually have a training and a learning plan for each of our departments and each of the specialist teams in the departments, what they do. This is as real as it gets, right? So when this came out a couple of months ago, we were like, whoa, what's happening here? Is this another Microsoft gimmick for certification? And then we realized, hey man, this is exactly what we do as an organization. We train different people in different ways. So this really helps distinguish individuals in your workplace as you go forward in the market, etc. And I can tell you that 20% more productive thing they're talking there about, certified teams, are really a true marker, is more than us. 20% is maybe a small number. We have seen our internal teams and the 10 folks that we have trained in the last couple of months for this role base. They are leading their companies, or in cases the departments, into critical change, right? So this productivity is this whole huge thing that I say, how do we get productive? The productivity is knowledge. You have to give the guys or the ladies knowledge. You have to give the teams that skill. Without it, they can't lead, right? And obviously, the trickle-down effect, and immediate trickle-down effect, is a business impact. They will start to do different things to make the company go forward, right? So that is the benefit, obviously, in a nutshell, to having certified teams. And what makes this Microsoft certification so valuable? One line. It realigns on job roles. It realigns on the job role itself. So it ensures that industrial alignment, and that's the first one, right? Secondly, it demonstrates applications of real business skills. And that is something that we could not measure before with the old types of certification. This is not Microsoft, this is Cisco and VMware and Citrix and all of that. It was never hands-on. It was or a piece of hands-on. It was always content-driven. So with those that real world application skill set, we get to see which applicants, our team or otherwise, we can measure if they are really successful or they just pass an exam, right? So the third major one with the Microsoft cert now is that social achievement, and I'll go into that in another slide that's coming up, right? So the crux of the matter, what is role-based certification? What exactly is this thing, right? So the role-based certification meets the market opportunity head-on, right? Those job roles that are critical to the company's success, and as more companies embrace digital transformation, this role-based certification is your key. Secondly, those critical skills as identified by the subject matter experts worldwide, not just Microsoft, all of the IT industry, Gartner, IDC, all of those. Those key technical skills that you need to be skilled and validated, the Microsoft certification in role-based readies that. It proves you have those type of skills to help your company, either your company or your customers, maximize the cloud capabilities and then achieve that business outcome through knowledge and real skills, not just an exam passed, right? It empowers the person who's doing the exam, the course, the training, to achieve much more going back to the office than they could ever have done before. It prepares you for this role today and tomorrow. Now, why did I say going forward and much more than before, right? The updates of this content, the certifications will remain technically accurate and relevant, but the updates for this is going to come every 2 months. So it's going to be sharp. It's not going to be latent like it was before, where you change a course or you change an exam every year, every 2 years. It's going to be updated all the time. Not the exam only. I'm talking about the content, because we're all cloud. It allows you to stay current. It allows you, that's what I'm telling you. This role-based cert will now allow you to stay current and go forward with the opportunities once you get certified with the new role-based cert, right? So this 6 new job role certification training is a little bit dated already, even though this slide came out a month ago. There are more than 6 now, right? We're moving into a number of new ones. As a matter of fact, as of this writing, we are now looking at the Microsoft Office 365 and moving that into a different role-based training. So that's not listed here, but that's coming, all right? That's your administrator, the old MOC 20347. We're keeping that for a bit, and then we're going to move that into role-based training. Okay. Each new cert has a couple of exams. Some are 1, some are 2, and each exam has a collection of courses. All right, and those map end to end to the exam. So you can get. Before, people used to try to do Microsoft training on YouTube and different various CBTs, etc. And those were good for the old courses. You cannot replicate that for the new courses because they're all built on professional labs. And I know that sounds kind of weird, but the only ones that can really replicate that real-based training, specifically to Microsoft, are the engineers who created this content. And you're only going to get that from companies like Caribbean Tech Trends, who actually deliver official labs, not something that somebody created. Not a training kit that you got from Amazon and pulled it down. Not you get from XYZ and all the $10.99 courses or $200 courses or whatever. This is really specific, and it really is an investment in your training knowledge. We do this all the time internally. All right, that is how our guys are so sharp. Okay, and Microsoft is making this available to everybody now. So each collection has a different number of courses, and I will, if you need to know which ones they are, I know this webinar is too short to do that. Please email us at transform@cttl.net. I think it's going to be listed at the end of the webinar, and we'll email you the entire roadmap. Okay. So what's the big deal, right? Hey, how does this demonstrate real world skills? How do we actually demonstrate a real world skill based? Well, first of all, it's skill based questions. So it emphasizes skills over knowledge, and that is really, really different from before. The second thing, it is more than what you know, but it's how you apply that to how you solve it. And it's not a technical problem you're going to get only, it's a business problem. As we move into cloud, you're going to see much less technical things and much more business things, right? The questions that you're going to see on the exam require a different order, a higher order of thinking to get them to identify the answers properly. It's not like before, right? When you say the exam questions from before were very technical, these are not, okay? It requires a lot of experience using the Microsoft technical kits that we give you. That only comes from companies like Caribbean Tech Trends, because those application of skills, that will give you that skill base that nothing else can give you. It gives you that, our MLOs, Caribbean Tech Trends Limited and Microsoft MLOs, which you can only get from a facility like CTTL. It gives you that ability to evaluate and solve a business problem. It integrates information from multiple sources and then drives that type of solution skill set given a business constraint. Okay, and that is the only way you can deliver a specific business outcome in a positive light for digital transformation. You're not going to get that from a do-it-yourself kind of kit. That comes live. Okay. So training is a good start, but the experience of doing over and over and putting yourself within the environment really is the key to understanding the digital transformation problems, and then present or proffer a customer to, or your client, to the best solution available for them. And it's all going to be differently, right? So the third component is the hands-on labs. And with that hands-on labs, they're adding lab-based questions for every single job role. So it allows you for the first time to prove by doing. And we've been asking for this for a long, long time. When I say me, we, I mean the industry. Okay. So introducing this new concept of performance-based testing. So we are introducing performance-based testing because the industry, like I said, asks for it. Not just Microsoft, VMware, Cisco, Citrix have been asking for this PBT for a long time, right? These performance-based labs will be introduced as the beta goes on, and we're past beta stage for a number of exams. So it's live in Azure now. It's gonna come in for the rest of the role-based exams as time goes on. I mean, I'm recording this now. I'm sure it's gonna start moving very quickly because this will be dated. All the information I'm saying in this webinar is going to be dated as we go on, and things are changed, right? So it demonstrates your skills, not just your knowledge, right? Not just the old way of cram and write an exam. It demonstrates real skills, not just answering questions about a product or a content. All right. So the other major part in this frame is your social recognition. How do they know what you know, right? So first one is it's the social framework, the discoverable, which is it helps to share skills by logging into things like LinkedIn, etc., and choosing who you could communicate to of your achievements, your personal achievements, right? Because your social fabric is meshed completely. It helps people find you or employers that may be interested in your skill set, and it's direct from Microsoft. The other slide here kind of shows you that, right? It broadcasts your skills. You can put them into LinkedIn, email, Twitter, Facebook, etc. It acts as a database or an advertisement board for yourself, your personal marketing kit about, hey, I can do these things, I have these skills, and employers who are looking to that are going to match up those things. And if you are looking, and if they are looking, and then if you have that skill set and they need that skill set, they're probably going to reach out. And we've already seen that happen in the United States, whereby HR teams are now knowing that these IT shifts have happened. So that as an IT pro, and I'm seeing most of you guys here are IT pros, you're going to have to now enlighten your HR teams that the shifts have occurred. These are the better type of candidates we need into our teams. All right, so I know I've tried to keep it around 14 or 15 minutes. I want to let you know that this has been one of the things that we have been requesting for a long time from Microsoft. And I think everybody will have a story that they've employed somebody who was a Microsoft certificate in the old way, and they weren't able to do a lot of things. And that is really something that we have to clean up in the industry. We do not want talkers, we want doers. Not because anything specific, but because the cloud requires it. The cloud is changing too much to have static information. Those silos that, hey, we did a cert before, we did training, we're good for 2-3 years, are now done. We preach that in CDTL. We keep on learning at a pace that we thought was accelerated. Now that's going to be the new normal. This whole training path that we've been on, which is constantly upgrade, constantly change, and that was for CTTL, that's now going to be the new normal for IT departments throughout the entire world. So our Caribbean teams, which are you, are really going to have a fun time getting yourselves certified, getting your companies to go forward, being the best IT pro that you can be, and it's going to change. As artificial intelligence comes in, as all of the new players come into place, you guys are going to lead your own companies and make a lot of things dramatically improved. I think that over the next year or two, we're going to see an amazing set of IT skills from the Caribbean just come up. So thank you guys for meeting us. I hope I did not go over my 16. As a matter of fact, I'm close to the 20-minute mark. I've gone over by 5 minutes. Thank you, everybody. I'm seeing 108 people on the chat now. Please take down this information, transform@cttl.net. Feel free to reach out. This is recorded. You will get a copy of this and the slides if you need it. I think Keisha and her team will post this to YouTube and LinkedIn shortly. All right, so I know there's a lot more questions you want. We have an entire detailed roadmap and matrix of the new certs and how they map to which course and to which skill set. Please feel free to reach out. I know that your teams will be reaching out to all you guys to let you know how this works and to give you some more time in terms of getting ready for this new certs. And not just the certs are one thing, but you absolutely need your teams to know how to help you and help the company digitally transform. That's the message here. There's finally a roadmap and a help to get you guys to get your products fast tracked. Like I said before, we use this internally to my company to CDTL, and I know this is going to be dramatically helpful to you all. All right, so thank you very much for giving me your weekend time. I hope this was great. The idea was to give everybody one webinar quick, so we'll have to everybody can share this information and use it as you prepare for the next half a year coming up in 2019. Have a great day, have a great July, and we will talk very soon. Take care.